Our first story today is Retaliation gets a new roster. Island Shots was the captain, and apparently the team was not happy with him and his captainship. It was reported that he was late to check-ins once, maybe twice. There was another instance where he forgot to put a sub on their roster in week 1 during the check-in, so they were unable to play when one person was unable to in the starting lineup, so they didn't have a sub on the check-in sheet in order for them to continue their play in week 1, which gave Elevate a free victory that week. The PCL rules allow the captain to be sole controller of their roster, and I don't agree with that. I think it's not a good rule. You had 5 players grind their way through qualifiers and make it into the PCL, only to have one person dictate that all of them should be dropped and 4 new players should come into the realm or the PCL with the captain. The captain was outvoted 4-1 by the rest of the members of the original Retaliation team to be replaced as captain and dropped from the squad. Unfortunately, the captain has the power, so that 4-1 vote was basically nothing. With the new roster, though, they did secure their first 2019 win in the PCL. They were able to beat Eaststorm Gaming 3-0 or 3-1, sorry. So since Eaststorm took one game off of them in this set, Eaststorm is still above them in the standings. The reason being is because if they would have 3-0'd Eaststorm, they would have been above them. They would have had one less loss to Eaststorm. But now if you put Eaststorm and Retaliation in a head-to-head battle, you would see that Eaststorm is 4-3. Yes, 4-3. And Retaliation is 3-4 against them. So Retaliation still in last place. And, you know, a lot of these players on Retaliation, you have Brian Vers, who joined in week 3. And he was kind of not part of this whole roster debacle coming from him himself. And then you have players like No Concerns, Fly So Fatal. They leave the game and they come back, and they leave again and they come back, and they leave again and they come back. They've done this for the past year now. And a lot of the other players in the league, especially in the Xbox NA division, have some strong opinions of them. They think that they're just ranked gods who think they're God's gift to paladins or to console paladins and so on. But going into week 5, Retaliation has dropped No Concerns from last I heard, and they will be picking up Temper or Tamper. I don't know if it's TXMPR. So I don't know if the X is replacing an A or an E. So Temper or Tamper. That person's going to have to let me know themselves. That way I can put in the caster sheet info as well. So what about the leftovers? Emmerfish, UTG Star, Ian Hart. They've learned a lesson here that if those 3 are going to team together, one of them is going to have to be the captain. That's basically how that's going to have to work out in the future. I don't know if they are looking to join current PCL teams. You know, Low-Key Esports is out there, who's another one making a lot of roster adjustments. Eaststorm's out there. They could use maybe 1 or 2 players. Or they could form a new team, find 2 new players, and grind it out for the relegations. And worst come to worst, they grind it out for the 2020 season. I do know of some players on Xbox NA who are free if they were to start a new team. So that is a possibility as well. And that would be my suggestion. Make a new team, find 2 new players, maybe 3 if you want to sub, and make one of you 3 the captain. That way nothing like this debacle happens again. That's pretty much it for that.